So what's this show about?
What are we talking about today?
Decision day.
Decision day?
The day after. You know, everybody gets a day off except us.
I know.
Hashtag no days off.
That was the worst time. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of This Week in MLS. And did something happen yesterday? Did we do something? Were we
the
live?
biggest studio show known to man.
What? You guys.
Major star power. I got to sit next to Ziggy Schmidt.
I know. Martin Rennie was there.
Yes.
It was quite the cast of characters. Decision day. 10 games all going on at once. It was overwhelming.
It was.
We were all watching in the control room, and there's the 10 games up on this big screen, and I was getting like the heart palpitations because I didn't know where to go. It was pretty intense.
It was pretty fun. And now the fun begins because we get to go to the playoffs. Every game, of course, is going to have that extra little bit of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I feel? But can we take a minute, though, and just give a shout out to all the guys that didn't make the playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy a couple of days because they actually have to go back to training.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's
until
no
you told me.
vacation.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I
they'll
think
be
that's
training
actually
for the
really
next
exciting.
2 to 3 weeks. They are the worst
Is that- I
2
was
to
gonna
3
say,
weeks
that's
because
gotta
you're
be
watching
brutal.
the games and you're going out to train. It's rough.
So in the West, all came down to the final game of this season, and this is how it shaped up. The 4 through 6, Seattle, Sporting KC, and RSL. The team that's on the outside looking in, Portland, man, they got destroyed by Vancouver in a game. You know, they controlled their own destiny. Win, you're in. And we know that they had struggles on the road this year, but this was a surprise.
I picked them
for me.
to win this game as
Yes.
well. I thought they would get their first win of the season on the road. Didn't happen. Vancouver came out hot. They came out flying. It's tough to go and play against a team that really has nothing to lose and a lot to gain. They played free. They came out the aggressive team from the jump. Giles Barnes scores 2 phenomenal goals. I think you have to give Vancouver a lot of credit for how they came out, and Portland was never able to find any footing in this game.
Well, and think about Vancouver too. You know, they end the season by winning the Cascadia Cup. They keep one of their biggest rivals out of the playoffs. I mean,
Added bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's move on to one of the other storylines that was big yesterday. The Supporter Shield obviously was down to Colorado and Dallas. It ended up being Dallas who takes it home. Both Colorado and Dallas with the draw yesterday. How big is that for them? How big of a boost is that for them heading into the playoffs?
Congratulations, Dallas. I know we've had people commenting all year. Talk about Dallas, talk about Dallas. Now they've got the hardware to back it up. They've got the US Open Cup and then their first ever club supporter shield. The fans traveled out there, were able to actually hold the supporter shield for the first time. And then they went back when they got to Dallas to Mauro Diaz's house.
Oh, it was so cool.
Sprayed him with champagne. That was a really nice moment.
That was really cool.
So congratulations to Dallas and all their fans.
So here's my question. Obviously, no Mauro Diaz. We talked a lot about that yesterday. But are they still the favorites without him in this playoff picture?
You know what? I love a team that feels like they're the underdogs, but has been the favorites. And I think that's a recipe for success. I am worried though because Mauro Diaz and Fabian Castillo are not there.
Yeah.
And when you look at where this team was, yes, they're a better team now, I think, for having gone through these experiences, for having played in these tough matches, championship matches, for silverware. But you have to think going into the playoffs, without your 2 best players that you had earlier in the season, that leaves a void.
All right, let's take it out east. The top 2 teams in the East right here in New York. So I'm curious, Calen, how you think these teams are going to fare?
Going in with a ton of confidence, and 2 of the best strikers in MLS leading the lines, David Villa and BWP, going for that golden boot. Congratulations to Bradley, gets his goal, and they are going in flying. But I think on the other side, NYCFC probably has the best attack in the league right now. A wealth of options from Jack Harrison. Lampard also returns for them. Of course, David Villa, and then Kyrie Shelton off the bench. So nobody wants to play against that offense right now.
Well, in just 2 days, we've got knockout rounds starting. First up is going to be Toronto versus Philly. That game's going to be at 7:30 Eastern on Unimas and ESPN2. Toronto, this is their first home playoff game, and Philly only their second playoff appearance. So how do you see this one?
Did you know, fun fact, last playoff appearance, I think I got a goal against Philly.
Oh, snap. Snap,
That's
Calen.
I know.
Good for you, buddy.
That was shameless.
We're not here to talk about
that. Was shameless. But yeah, Toronto, first playoff match at home.
Yep.
They've got a ton of talent. Philly trending the opposite direction, not getting the results they need, but they were able to rest a couple guys. Jim Curtin elects to rest Pontius and CJ Sapong, a couple other guys, so they'll at least be going in with their full strength team.
All right, so then the later game at 10:30 on Unimas, the Galaxy welcomes RSL. The Galaxy rested a bunch of guys yesterday. Ziggy Schmidt talked about like guys getting in a rhythm. So how does that affect the team when you've rested these guys, and then does it kind of stop your momentum?
No, I think it'll be fine, and I think the Galaxy are a team that can turn it on for the playoffs. They've got so much experience. They also got Landon Donovan a good run out. He needed some burn to keep his legs going for underneath him for the playoffs. And RSL, they got to hope that they can turn it on. I've been in this situation before where you play in these knockout games. They come fast and furious, but if you can get a good result and just get like an early goal, maybe Yura comes in, he got rested as well. I think that gives you a lot of momentum going forward, and that's what Ziggy was talking about is you want to get a good feeling in the group heading into that first match.
All right, then on Thursday, things kick off with DC United welcoming Montreal. That game is on Unimas at 7:30 Eastern. Same lines, like DC decided to rest a bunch of guys. It was kind of a questionable decision, but then it ended up working out for them.
Yes.
Talk about that a little
Risky
bit.
move from Ben Olsen because he rests his guys and basically says, I'm willing to go on the road with this group if we have to. Now it turns out to have a lucky charm to it because they're heading back to RFK. That place has been rocking over the last several weeks, and this team has been the hottest team in MLS. Maybe the Sounders have something to say about that, but I have to say, this DC team looks really tough. The only question mark, Didier Drogba?
Didier Drogba.
What's
Okay,
gonna happen with him?
well, the team is saying that it's fine. You know, like that he's going to be there. I mean, there's just so much drama surrounding it. What does your gut tell you? Is he going to play?
I think he's going to come back.
Yeah.
And this is based on zero reporting, zero facts. It's just a hope that I get to see Didier Drogba play again.
Didier. You have to say Didier.
Ooh,
Didier.
I'm not even going to
You
try.
have to say it with your French accent.
Oh,
Didier.
la la. Okay.
Finally, at 10:30 Eastern on FS1 in Unimas, Seattle welcomes Sporting KC. You mentioned Seattle. They're in really, really good form right now.
I like the way they're going into the playoffs. There's been so many times where you almost feel like the weight of expectation has been too much for this team when they've gone in as Supporter Shield winners and really felt they look tight sometimes in playoffs. Now I think they don't really have a lot to lose. I mean, they've got a group that was completely left for dead halfway through the season. Of course, Siggy loses his job. Now there's this huge turnaround. Jordan Morris has emerged, come on strong, Ladero. So I like this team going in. That said, I also really like the Sporting Kansas City team. I think if there is an upset, they're one of the teams that can do it with their experience. Dom Dwyer, Beasler, Zuzi, all these guys that have really been there in playoffs, won a championship already. I wouldn't count them out.
All right, it is time for. Did you see that? Did you like that? Did you see how I did that?
That was good.
Yeah, thank you. I really sold it.
Very good.
Okay, what was your? Did you see that this week?
Kai twerking. It's almost as if he's done that before.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's
Perhaps.
okay. Sometimes you got to get your twerk on the final day of the season. Just like let it all hang out.
Just
Literally.
did you see that? And I think everybody saw this. Can we talk about Rob Stone's jacket that he was sporting yesterday? I had like every single team logo
Were
on
those
it.
pins?
I don't know. I think it
Felt?
was just material. Russ Thaler was so jealous. He was like, "Oh, what? Where?
Nobody.
How do I get one of those?"
Nobody beats Russ in the suit game. Nobody.
I mean, he's very smooth in the suit game. You do more of the sweater vest thing, which I totally appreciated. A lot of people thought you looked very, very professorial yesterday.
My mom's a professor. I steal her business cards all the time. Professor Carr.
Claudia Carr. That's right. She's a published author too.
And a scholar.
And a scholar. That's it. Final show of the regular season.
Yes.
And now the real fun begins.
And we're taking this show on the road, coming to a city near you.
That's right.
Make your case for why you think we should come to your market,
Yep.
check out your team's game.
Tell us where we should go. We accept bribes.
We do. We definitely do.
It's going to be fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, for all your Audi MLS Cup playoff coverage, keep it turned in to MLSsoccer.com. We'll see you in the playoffs.